Hello, hello, and welcome to Unravelling.
Hello. That was way more high pitched than my voice. Hello. Let's talk like chipmunks for this episode.
And this episode is coming out in the new year, 2026. Oh. And this is our second return episode.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm just going to really quick, if anyone needs a little extra entertainment or laughter while listening to this podcast, because I know we're not funny. I highly recommend, because I mentioned chipmunks, listening to podcasts slightly faster. Because it's, I mean,
well, we also tend
more
to
faster.
Babble and
but it's also hilarious. They are,
so
and it's hilarious to listen to.
It must be really funny too with my voice, because I think I already have a higher voice.
True,
and so
I know the couple of times. Well, you remember when I did it a couple times, like listening to our podcast, and I was just like dying laughing. I was like, "This is the best." So, pro tip for anyone, who needs a little extra boost of laughter.
Good.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to hop right in.
Okay.
So we decided with this new season of our podcast, I have been religiously listening to Amy Poehler's podcast, Good Hang. It's a great podcast. She is in no way supporting this podcast that we know of, but I'm just giving her a shout out anyway, because it is such a great podcast. If you like easy listening, just fun. My point to that is she does this thing at the beginning of her episodes. She always interviews people, and she does this thing at the beginning of her episodes where she gets someone who's really close to her guest she's about to have come on beforehand and talk well about the person behind their back. And
did you figure out what that was called? Because you said there was a name for it, like a term.
Oh, no. I gotta look.
Okay.
No. Yeah, what the kids are calling it these days when you're like complimenting someone. No, I'll Google that after I'm done explaining this, because I do want to figure that out so that I can be down with the slang. So I really liked that idea. I thought that was really nice. And since we don't have guests, I thought it would be cool, and we thought it would be cool if we did a compliment corner kind of thing on this podcast. And this is for our listeners. And so basically our idea with this is anyone can send us a message at any point in time with a shout out they would like to give to someone in their life.
Yeah, just a DM through Instagram.
Yeah, DM through Instagram.
Perfect.
Would be the best way to do that. And you can literally send one to us anytime if you want to just give a shout out to a friend in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, let's lift each other up.
And just put more positivity out there. So you guys do that, and then we will give that shout out in our next episode. At the beginning of the episode, we will give out shout outs to anyone who had a shout out.
Yeah, we're seeing about making the podcast a little more interactive this season. Yeah. We've got that, and then we've got continuation of discussions. So if we get into something juicy, be it women's issues, political issues, whatever they may be, relationship issues,
keep the
human issues.
Yeah, keep the juice going.
We're hoping to get some commentary going after we release the episode, continuing the discussion.
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree with us, that's great.
That's part of
help our algorithm.
Yeah. Well, no, that also needs to be discussed. It's
absolutely.
Like that's good discussion there.
It's wonderful to agree to disagree.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys hear any weird clanks or stuff, it's just me feeding my wood stove.
Yeah,
because it's cold.
It's really cold right now. Yeah. The wind is like a vicious, icy whip coming at you.
Ice cream.
But super exciting. I walked over to the house site, and we have some walls.
Very exciting.
So I'm excited about that. Yeah. Like wooden walls. We had cement walls. Now we have some wooden ones. So that's pretty creepy.
Yeah. No, that's exciting. So that's all the updates, I think.
Yeah.
And tune back in next week.
So Christmas. That was
Christmas
a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a good time.
You know, I went in and I was like having as positive as an attitude as I could, given how absolutely exhausted and drained I was. And like, well, I'm going to reconnect with Christmas and all this stuff. And I still have come out of the other side of it saying like, why do we do this? Why do we do all this nonsense? So that's, I don't know. I'm not trying to be like a Scrooge, but I just think we all like, I mean, it was toned down a lot this year. And yet, despite it being toned down, I don't know if people just are feeling sorry for us because we don't have like a home right now, but my God, the amount of sweets in my house. Like it's kind of crazy. And I think maybe we were feeling sorry for us because we bought a lot of them.
A little emotional eating.
Yeah, I might have gained about 20 pounds. So, but yeah. And then you got to pick and choose, right? Because you got, there's all the clinking.
Sorry, guys.
Because then you've got all the, really good stuff, and then you've got the stuff that kind of you buy on a whim, and you realize that's not actually that good compared to the home baked stuff being sent.
Did we want any chocolate while we're recording?
Chocolate? Well, God. I don't know. I'm almost chocolated out, which I didn't think could happen. Right? But my God, I ate a lot of chocolate this holiday season. We went over to some friend's house the other night, and they had the most giant basket. Like, I mean, this thing was huge. It was a good 14-inch, diameter, probably 3, 4, I'd say at least 4 inches deep. And it was just a mound of those Lindor truffles.
Oh my God. Okay.
I mean,
a mountain of
truffles. A mountain. I've actually never seen so many Lindors in one contained spot before. And let me tell you, there was a group of us, there was 10 of us there, and we made short work of that. And there was a lot of chocolate eating going on.
Lindors are,
I'd say we cut it down by about a third.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah.
Nice.
A lot of chocolate.
Damn.
Yeah.
That does a lot of chocolate.
So yeah, so like, I'm still, like I say, still at the other side of it going, like it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think people get tired, and I think that moms need a rest right about now. When this is airing, I'm going to say, like, if you're a mom and you just did Christmas, take a rest, take a nap today.
Lay down, put in your earbuds, listen to this episode,
and just relax.
Have a little rest.
Yeah. Oh,
listen
goodness.
to our calming voices.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh goodness.
So, you have any commentary on what we just went through with the holiday season?
Not really. I mean, mine was pretty calm.
Yeah.
I found this a relatively not tiring Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think it was tiring as much as I'm just tired.
Yeah. That's probably accurate.
I think I'm exhausted.
No, I thought this was a good Christmas. It was definitely a different Christmas.
Very different. Very different vibes.
Yeah, different vibes. For sure. But it was good. It was nice. I personally just felt more relaxed. Yeah. Not that I get like worked up for Christmas or anything.
Oh, me neither.
I think for me it's more
me neither.
Like I don't think what am I trying to say? I don't think I get any sort of like feeling around Christmas itself so much as like the season and the expectations of what it's supposed to be. And I say that in quotations, what it's supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like and what it's supposed to feel like. And when it doesn't look like that in your world, like I think in the past I have like have not been looking forward to that, and have gotten like a lot of anxiety around Christmas, because it is this time where when you don't have the cookie cutter family image thing, you don't have a partner, you don't have kids, it looks very different. And I think there's a lot of, for me personally, there's stress around that aspect, and like anxiety of just like, oh, how's it going to look?
Well, and I think
how lonely am I going to feel if I'm not around people and blah, 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 like all that kind of stuff. Well, and I think this year was really good for that, because I also I think I let go of a lot of the anxieties around that, and I just showed up and was like,
you were having a good time.
Yeah, like I just showed up and stopped worrying about it and was just like, this is me, this is who I am, this is where I belong, and if you don't want me here, too bad.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of where I went with that.
Well, I think what I was going to say too is I think it can be awkward for people in just the transitions that we go through in life. Because, let's just say you do have little kids. One day they won't be little. They'll be adult. And, they'll be late teens. And every phase, things change and adjust. And those are the transitions of life. And they can be hard. They can be difficult. I mean, obviously, those big things, divorce, deaths, those are huge, challenging transitions. And I think we just need to all offer ourselves more grace during these times. And
I think I definitely, for myself too, I think as I've noticed as I've gotten older, I've definitely shifted. My mindset has been also shifting too, of just like, it's just a day.
Yes,
it's just another day.
Yeah.
And it's the societal image and pressure of it that makes you feel extra lonely on a Thursday. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what day Christmas landed on. Was it a Thursday?
I think it might. Maybe.
Whatever.
I can't remember.
Not important.
It was so long ago. It's all behind me now.
But you know what I mean?
Like, I do actually think Christmas Day was a Thursday, but yes.
It's so silly, but yet it is one of the most difficult times of year for many, many people.
Yeah, it is. And it is silly because not that it's that in any way, shape, or form I'm invalidating the feelings that people are having.
No, me neither.
It's totally understandable. Bottom line is yes, if you look at things and sort of try to alter your perspective a little bit, it is just a day. This is all made up.
Yeah.
This is none of this. I just said this to you, right? I was like, none of this really exists. This is all made up.
And I'll take that a bottom line even further. Bottom line is we have a loneliness epidemic. It has nothing to do with Christmas. No. It's just certain things trigger it more than others.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, everything's all made up. It's just, the days of the week, the months of the year. This is all nonsense.
Oh my God.
Here we are. And this will air after New Year's. Yeah. And I mean, we opened with this. So after next New Thursday? Year, 2026.
After this Thursday. See, I don't even know what day it is.
And like, to me, I was telling you earlier, New Year's, like, it always is just really, I'll use one of my silly little terms, put a bee in my bonnet. I'll tell you. Bonnet.
She wears a lot of bonnets.
I am not a New Year's person. I have never been a New Year's person. I don't understand the hype of it. I think it's ridiculous. This calendar is made up. And I must have had a sense about this even as a child, because I used to think of it as just like, this is so stupid. It's not the new year. That's not the new, I just had this instinctual, what is this? This is not the new year. That's not really what it is. It's just an excuse to have a party based on some calendar that some man enforced upon us that isn't even real. It doesn't even follow the moons. It completely disrupts our cycle entirely. As human beings, our cycle is disrupted because all of us, male and female, we follow the cycles of nature. Yeah. And nature is following the cycles of the moon and the sun, and here we are, and we have 12 months and 13 moons in a, in quotes, year, in one rotation around the sun. Yeah. So it's all nonsense, guys.
It is all nonsense.
But so yes, I don't celebrate New Year's really.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think I was saying I didn't even really celebrate it, even when I was going out to clubs and stuff like that when I was younger. It was never really a thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, when we were when we were little kids, that was the one night of the year where we could stay up past our bedtime. We could try to stay up till it was a fun thing where we were let's try to stay up till midnight so we can see the calendar change.
Interesting.
But that was about it. Yeah. But we thought that was great because as little kids, it was really difficult to stay up till midnight. I didn't make it a lot of times.
I don't really have any memory of New Year's as a kid much because it wasn't really
But now, I feel like now for myself too, or like as I've gotten older, yes, the like silliness of the New Year. And I'm not like shitting on anyone who loves New Year's and wants to give her like whatever makes you happy.
Oh, yeah.
But like for my own self and my own whatever, my own journey to think about starting a new anything in the dead of winter is silly.
It just doesn't feel right.
No.
Right? Like new should be in the spring, really. Or maybe even in the fall.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But like, no. I gave it a good go. Like when my kids were little and, my husband said, oh, it's New Year's. And his mom, like they were really into doing some stuff. And I did it. And, we'll have some special meal or whatever. But honestly, too, when I think back on that and I think about, like, I don't know if any American women listen to our podcast. I think a couple do. But like, I think about the struggle of the American woman during the holiday season. At least us Canadian women, we have, which funny that I say that because I am American born, but us Canadian women, like we have a little bit of a break between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I'm an American woman living in America at this point, I had experienced what we do up here, I'd be like, are you serious? I'm not celebrating this nonsense. Like, just, it's like a month at most in between the two. And it's just how exhausting.
In between.
So you got that big, huge Thanksgiving meal and all that craziness. And then it's like, go. Christmas parties, shopping, wrapping presents, this, that, the other, this event, take the kids to see Santa. All this nonsense. It's all like it's too much. And then Christmas happens. It's a whirlwind when you have little kids, especially. Oh my gosh. It's just like boop, and then it's done. And you're like, wow, I just spent all this time and now it's over. The whole living room floor is covered in wrapping paper. It's done. And now here we are. You're just catching your breath and we're going to do a big New Year's thing too. It's like, no. I think women should rebel against this. Enough is enough, because the truth of it is that women are the ones that do take the brunt of this. The work, the preparation, the thought, the caring, the giving, the wrapping, the cooking, all of it. And I told you that movie came out this year with Michelle Pfeiffer. I think it might be on Prime. And
I think it's on Prime.
Now I'm going to have to look it up because, I want to make sure I'm giving proper name of the movie to you guys. I think I might have even mentioned it in our first one, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's called Oh, What Fun. Yep. Oh, What Fun with Michelle Pfeiffer. And let me tell you, boy, did they touch on some actual like legit situations that us women are in during the holiday season. And Chloe Grace Moretz is in it, and Dennis Leary is in it. He's fantastic in it, actually. It's an all-star cast. It actually was a really good Christmas movie, covering some serious topics.
I just remembered I was going to look up that word.
That's right. So what was it?
I don't know. I'm not seeing it here. I'm not saying it here. I'm going to have to.
Did you look up Amy Poehler? What does she call it? That might work.
There is another one that did pop up that she also used, which is gassing them up. You're gassing them up, which is funny, but that's not.
This is what we're talking back to. Yeah. Giving your friends compliments.
Let me see if I can find if I don't find it, I'll sadly just have to listen to her podcast again and figure out
what it's called.
And I say sadly jokingly because I've already listened to a lot of that podcast.
Have you listened to a few twice? Yeah. Wow, you really like this one.
Well, it's also nice to it's something I just throw on at work.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't put out enough episodes, so.
And here I am, me who has a podcast. I barely ever listen to podcasts. I'm not going to lie. I do enjoy a few when I have the time to
I'll have to
actually catch an episode. Okay, so right now it's just
we can gas each other up.
Gassing them up. Yeah. I gassed you up last time on the comeback
Oh yes, our comeback episode. Oh, so should we, not to like go all the way back to the beginning of our episode, but I'm going to anyway. Should we participate in the compliment thing? Like, you complimented me last time. Like, should we be doing that too? Like, we used to do the little question thing at the beginning of the...
Well, I mean, you and I do it pretty regularly, I think, throughout the podcast. I think they know how much we love and adore each other. It's probably making them all sick.
Maybe, yeah. We get it.
We get it. You really like each other. Yeah. Wow.
So much you had to make a podcast about it.
No, my husband calls you and I, we're like this separate entity of sorts. He said, like, Jamie and July, when we're together, it's like we're in our own little world. It's a bubble, I think, is what he's kind of implying. We're in
I saw something about...
We're in a little J bubble.
J. There's something about J names. I saw like a little reel today or something on Instagram that basically said that, like, when you're with your best friend, you're in your own little world, kind of thing. Like, yeah. And you're like, what was it? It's like you're this basically like this special version of yourself that you're not with anyone else, kind of thing, which is kind of fun.
You know what I want to touch on, speaking of our bubble, our own little world, is, and we brought this up again last episode.
Pop my bubble. What are we talking about?
Oh my gosh. What? Well, we're going to talk about...
What are you bringing up?
Okay. Remember, we record the episode.
Bring it. I'm sorry.
We recorded the episode last time, and we were talking about all the weird shit that happens when we're out. That was right, and we were talking about that, and then we're sitting there at Christmas Eve meal, and once again, didn't I say when we were on? I think I said it on the podcast. I was like, and we tell our family, we tell the family, nobody registers it, nobody gets it.
That was the best part of my Christmas, though. That right there. Because one of your daughters brought it up, and then we got into Sharon's.
And then we showed them the picture of the fishtail.
Yes.
And they're just like, what?
I feel as like this was finally... Yes, time. I know.
And it was not the first
Clearly,
time.
none of them listened to our podcast. Which, let me say, I'm going to have some words.
That was so great. And then there was also when you showed them the picture.
Yeah. Why is there sparkles on it?
Because we've edited it to have the
live bedazzled it. That was great.
Right?
But it was a great moment, but it also was like, seriously, guys, like, we've told these stories so many times. And y'all are acting like this is the first time you heard these stories.
So we went through the whole thing again, which we definitely had told that story to them.
Yeah.
Not registering.
No.
Even when we make little comments, like, casually about things we've seen, and then just clearly we really are in a bubble. We're in such a tight little bubble, nobody can hear us. Nobody cares.
And nobody cares. Like, I think we touched on this last episode too, where they're just kind of like, it's
just another day.
Just whatever they're up to.
Yeah, whatever.
Wherever you guys.
Weirdness. We were out in the woods foraging. We come.
I was like, I was like, I think I was in like the garage yesterday, and one of your daughters was like, have you seen my mother? And I'm like, yeah, I literally just brought her home. And she was like, oh.
No. Yeah. I mean, now, in fairness, thinking about, again, back to our relationship and then the impression from other people is, we have gotten up to some weird shit.
And we're planning more.
Yeah.
Which, we really got to get on.
We do have a lot of adventures and a lot of quirky things that we do that, like, it's not very common, it's not like, I see jokes on TV about some of the shit that we do. Like, oh yeah, my mom's off doing ayahuasca.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to make a comment about what we just talked about doing last night.
What we talked about doing last night. Oh, I don't even know, but you'll have to remind me. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll have. Yeah. Yes.
Oh goodness. Oh my goodness.
We're mischief makers.
Next week we're going bowling.
Are we going bowling?
I don't know.
That would be fun.
Do you wanna?
We could.
We should go bowling.
We should start a group of women bowling. If anybody wants to go bowling with us, message about that.
We should start a women's bowling league. Let's do it.
Well, speaking of bowling, this is funny. I didn't know until we came to Canada about this bowling with these little small balls.
Oh, like the little ones that are this big?
No, they're like little. They're like a little.
I don't really know.
I don't know what
they're easier to handle. Is what?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But
you didn't know about it.
No, I thought bowling balls were always those big ones with the 3 holes.
Yeah, see, I've never bowled.
Is that what it is?
I've never bowled with a big ball.
I don't think I mean, I guess maybe as a child I tried to, or not really, but we never really went bowling when I was a kid, but when I did encounter bowling, it was always, men with the large bowling balls, and they got the bowling ball bag and they're on league.
I always say that I go bowling is good for me when I need to humble myself because I'm so bad at it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really bad at it except for when I'm not.
Right.
So,
well,
it could go either way.
Yeah. I like skee ball better than bowling.
What the heck is skee ball?
That's where you have the even littler ball and you throw it down the long lane and then it pops up and it goes into all these different circles and you try to get it into the middle.
I've seen that before. I've never done that.
Oh, my favorite. As a kid, you couldn't get me away from it hardly. Okay. My favorite activity. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but no, the little small bowling balls. And then now I've since found out that is normal because I thought, is this a Canadian thing? But no, it's not.
It's probably more of a that's your casual bowling ball.
Maybe. I guess.
The big ones, or maybe
I don't know. For
if you're in a league.
Never encountered it till I came here. Yeah.
The difference. I'm not going to Google that.
There's no point.
No.
It was just a random.
Take me down a lane.
Take us down a lane.
Take me down a lane.
Down a lane where there's lots of pins.
Yeah, exactly. I'm opening the wood stove again.
Oh, she's back at the wood stove.
All right. What else we got? We covered bowling, Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah, that I have walls.
That you have walls.
Yeah. So I guess on the house thing, because we talked about that last time. So recap. Yeah, was going to renovate the house. If you didn't catch that episode, that we came back with there just before Christmas, was going to renovate the house, the old 190 some odd, I can't in this moment, whatever, it was old, it was an old house, gonna renovate it, gonna put on an addition, a couple of additions actually, and then found out we had no choice but to knock her down. So when that all happened, and I think I discussed this, it was very okay, well, crap, better figure out another plan quick because the construction crew is here. This is when they're scheduled to do the work and got to get her done. So I just kind of put my head down and worked on a plan and didn't really process anything that was going on until right up towards Christmas. That was fun. That was fun to have all of the Christmas stuff and then start processing just oh, that's a big deal, having to watch your house be demolished. That's a really big deal, that this house that you lived in with your family and have some really fucking amazing memories in, truly some of the best, and it's gone. And even one of the kids was saying the other day that they're just now processing it, this room that I did all these things in, and all this growth and development in me as a person. One of the kids was saying, they're just and it's gone. I will never see that place again. I will never be in that place again. And it's really a big deal. And I was not at all. I mean, my husband was processing it, and I was just don't have time. Gotta keep. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. I kept saying, just gotta keep going. And then it hit me before Christmas, and I was feeling really, really sad. And then it hit me that my gardens were all gone, and that I still the more I think about it, the more upset I get. And so I'm trying not to think about it too much, but at the same time, you have to process these things. So, and I said something yesterday to the contractor, and he was just like, well, but now you get to plant new gardens and design for, and I was like, no, I know the positives, and it doesn't just because there's positives doesn't mean that you can't take the space to grieve, to again give yourself the grace to actually grieve, to mourn, to do what you need to process things, because I think so much in our society we do power through. It's we push through it, and I think that's it's a major problem that we actually have.
Agreed. And I think it drags things out much longer than they have to be.
Absolutely agree. Yeah.
I think you can struggle and like suffer within that much longer.
Yes.
By trying to just power through, as opposed to actually sitting and acknowledging what was.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this goes back to any experience you have with trauma. I mean, think about, like, I know for myself, I very much was a power through survival mode, that, and we've talked about this before. Survival mode, you get stuck in it, and it's like, well, gotta do it, gotta get through it.
Well, and it's like, at times, yes, you do have to, right? It's like, with you just saying, like, okay, the house got knocked down, you couldn't stop in that moment and take that time,
really,
because there were workers here, they're
ready,
they are getting paid, like all of these things. You had to come up with a new plan, then you could stop. And as long as there's that's happening within situations too, right? That it's like, I think back to my own situation where, like, when I left and I, got a divorce and all of these things were going on, and it was like, for a long period of time, I had to just power through because I was figuring out how to survive. I had to figure out where I was going to live and what I was going to do. And then I built a house, and it was like all these things.
Yep.
There are certain things that sometimes, yes, you do have to power through, and like to get yourself to a place where you're okay to then take that pause.
Yeah.
And be able to process. And
I think this too, I mean, you bringing up stuff with your divorce, it makes me want to discuss, like, having watched that process of, you were in a survival mode, you were powering through, you had to figure out what your living situation was going to be, how you were going to do these things. You had to figure out just the process of getting a divorce, which is a whole other thing, the paperwork and all the legalities of that. And then I remember it had been some time since it all had begun, and you hadn't fully processed what was going on. You were just go. You had dips of sadness and grief, but you never were really taking some time to just sit with it. And then it happened later, as I recall, and you were sitting with it. And I think that there were probably a few people around in our lives at the time that were very confused by, well, but that happened a while ago.
Well,
and it's like, but you still have every right to take that time.
And I feel like, from my own experience with divorce, it's treated the same way as we treat grief of losing someone you love, where people put a timeline on it, where you should be over it by a certain amount of time. And in all reality, I still have moments when I'm grieving, because that is still a loss of a person
and a
life.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like
a life that you were planning with another human being.
Yeah. And I mean, and honestly, I don't think I did talk to you about this because there just hasn't been time. But I think it was just like a few months ago, I went through the whole process of grieving that loss as someone I lost to addiction, because that had never even, that hadn't come up in my mind, because there was just so much other stuff in my life, in the situation of just like, and also just my own journey with addiction. And it was like, it took that long for me to kind of like clue into that like, oh, like bottom line, you lost this relationship to addiction. You lost this person to addiction. That is what
as a side effect of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like this person is still alive, but like you couldn't reach them, right? And just so like going through that process myself, like I said, like that just happened, like I think back in the fall or something, and like having to process like that grief and that anger and frustration and just acknowledging that too, of just like, oh, that's why I went back so many times. That's why it was so hard, because it was like, that's really, I mean, I don't have to explain that to you. That is really difficult to have someone in your life that you love and you cannot reach them. Yeah. And you have to leave them, and you don't want to.
And you have to.
Because they're not gone, but they're gone.
Oh yeah. Boy, I know it well. Yeah. Yeah. No. And I think this is one of those things where in our society, we have lost, we've lost touch with the compassion that is natural for us as human beings in these situations. It's very much, again, that push through, move on attitude. I remember when you were first in the early days of your divorce, it was like, well, everybody was expecting you to start dating again.
Oh my God.
There was immediate pressure.
Yeah.
And it was just like, this is kind of
literally there was comments made the day after.
The day after. Yeah. Yeah. Which just word of wisdom out there, highly inappropriate. Yeah. Even as a joke. That's not it's really not a nice thing to do.
No.
It's just not okay.
Yeah.
Like, so
it's also taken, sorry, I'm just like gonna hop in here, but like, since we're on the topic of like divorce and stuff too, it's taken me a really long time in my own mind to kind of navigate the whole idea of moving on, because I think for my own experience, there is a lot of pressure of like moving on. And I think in a lot of ways I think we take it in a different way than what is actually possible. Like, I think I've come to this own understanding within myself that like, in a certain way, I'm never going to move on because like, and by never going to move on, as in like, I'm never gonna, I think we think of moving on as like a forgetting,
letting it
go.
That's not how grief works,
no,
man.
And it's like, it's like I've had to go through a process of acknowledging that in my own mind.
Yeah.
Of just like, oh, this isn't something that I'm gonna ever get over, and just one day all of a sudden it's just gonna be like super easy.
No.
Like to just
these are the complexities
on,
of
right?
grief.
It's just like you move with. Yeah. I think. And I think maybe in a lot of ways we should change that wording of like move with, because these are like with grief, loss, like any experience like that, it's like you're not leaving it behind. It changes you. You can't move on because you can only move with it, because you are a different person now.
Absolutely.
And that experience shaped you. That person shaped you. Like whatever the grief is, whatever the experience is, it's like it shaped you. It changed you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you can only move forward with that change.
Yeah.
Like I can't move forward in a new relationship pretending that one never happened.
Well, I mean, you know my grief process, how it's been with losing my sister. And this is, loss to addiction. And it's a process, because when you have an addict that you love in your life, it's so common to, well, at least it has been common for me to start to let them go early. You're preparing yourself, or at least like, again, this is what I did. I started to prepare myself for this thing that I saw as inevitable. I knew the statistics on the situation. I better face the reality of it. So you start to let go. And years prior to the actual they're gone. And then once my sister was gone, really had left this world. I mean, because the truth of it is, she was gone a long time before that. And then she'd pop up for little glimmers of time And these are treasured moments where we would have these beautiful conversations, these deep, deep, heartfelt connections. They were rare, but I treasure them. But they also would mess with me a bit, right? Because I had already accepted this sort of inevitability. And then it took about a year after her passing from this world that I really started to process and feel the deep, deep wound of grief that I feel in having lost her. Like it's been rough. It's been really rough, and it came later. So that's that in this concept of this timeline we put on whatever it is, whether it's death or it's divorce or it's so absurd because we're so individual as human beings, and each loss has its own intricate complexities to it that from an outside perspective, we don't have any understanding. Nobody knows about all the steps of things that I would have gone through with my sister, just as nobody knows with your marriage.
And I think like with these complicated human experiences and emotions and all that too, like in just reflecting personally, just I'm going to say use like this Christmas as an example, and I'll get into that a little bit in a minute, but like I think it's like it takes time to process different things, especially when they're complicated and big and heavy, and there's so much there to process, and you know there's all kinds of different emotions and things at play. But then there's also like you as an individual are constantly moving and growing and changing, as is everything around you, and that all plays into it as well.
For sure. Like you're seeing things from you're able to process it from different you're able maturity to process levels,
for sure wisdom. But it's like
I
know I discussed with you briefly about this Christmas and how it did feel different for me in some ways in which I was no longer grieving, but there was also new ways in which I was grieving, right? And so it's like it's just it's being human and living, and and
I mean
it's not clean cut, and I think we all try. I think often in society we try to put it in a nice little package and put a bow on it and put a timeline on it, because it is messy.
And I think that is also, this also plays into what we were saying earlier about, this time of year, the holiday season, I should say. We're going to be past this time of year, but the holiday season being challenging for so many and so lonely. I mean, this is a time of really deep grief. If you have experienced great loss, and the holidays were something that you typically celebrated with your family, with your mate, whatever it is, however this loss is, it's very likely going to trigger emotions and feelings to 100%. Come up. And each year it's going to be different. Some years it's going to be more challenging than others, different milestones perhaps, or what have you, as you grow and change. And I mean, I found this one especially difficult. I was grieving the loss of our home. I was grieving the loss of my plant friends, which I loved and nurtured for a decade, many of them, and had brought them from our previous home. But I also was in a deep state of grief over my sister, my father, my brother, like really deeply grieving. So and that's that's the reality of this time of year. It's not just the loneliness.
No, and I mean, I think even if
triggering,
it is triggering, and I think even if Christmas itself wasn't something that you say celebrated with these people or any like it is also a time of year where even though it's busy and sped up, if you don't have that, it also is a very slow time of year, as in things are closed and there's not as much going on. There's a lot of things going on, but there's also not as much.
Sometimes
so
it's
a pause, right? It is. And like especially this week in between Christmas and New Year's, it's like everything's funky.
It really is slow.
if you don't have like family and stuff, it's like friends are all off with their families and doing family. So it's like, it also just shakes everything up, your norm up, and there is that bit of a pause. So it's like, even if it's not specifically Christmas that you're like, oh man, I used to do that with all these people. I think it's the season in general too. It's disruptive.
It is very disruptive.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it can be inconvenient.
Dude, it is highly inconvenient. Like, even in being like, oh yeah, I had a good Christmas. It's fucking inconvenient and I don't like it, but you know.
Yeah, no. And we did have a beautiful Christmas. Yeah. Oh my goodness, we did.
Another log on the fire.
Very
Gotta
good.
keep it cozy.
I'm looking at the computer screen, making sure, because you monitor it.
What? Yeah. Everything we're not at 2 hours yet. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
we're not even at an hour yet.
Yeah, no. Right now we're coming into the podcast with just no plan.
Yeah,
this is just us winging it.
We're just winging it.
We've had a few discussions in the last couple weeks about grief. I mean, I opened up to you about that I was struggling with. It is hard. It is really hard. The emotions that come up. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, very much so. I've definitely been struggling more so with singledom this year.
Yeah. I would say this past year, 2025, definitely struggling with the loss of my sister more than I ever could have possibly imagined or prepared myself for. Yeah. It really blindsided me. Like, because, I guess the part of me with the experiences I've had with how much addiction has affected my life, I really thought that I was preparing myself, like, better prepare. So, because it's the odds aren't in our favor here. So if I do this now, then that'll help. And I don't know that it really helped at all.
I mean,
maybe.
Do you think though that like on a like, I heard myself say like so many times. It actually drives me crazy when I listen to our podcast and I hear how many times I say it. But anyway, do you think on I'm going to say like a logical level, like you can mentally prepare, right? Like logically, you think about that. You're just like, logically, this makes sense.
Yep.
But I don't think we can actually prepare ourselves emotionally for things like that.
No.
Because, and correct me if I'm wrong in any of this, but I feel like with your sister, for example, there would have been so much grief, I feel like, throughout your life with that relationship.
So much grief. My husband just brought this up. Yeah.
So
my husband brought up how much grief he sees me struggle with. Always. Like that I'm always in a state of grief. He made a comment not too long ago about it, and it really made me pause and think about it. And I was like, holy shit, he's right. Like, I've never not been grieving, because addiction does that. It really, truly, it's impossible. You're grieving constantly. Like, when you love someone who's an addict, that it's just grief. There's so much there, and it doesn't really ease up. You have to let go of anything that you thought might be. Dreams for them. I mean, obviously you don't dream for other people, but there's the basic human things, like just sharing a conversation or an experience, like especially when it's your siblings, or milestones. So like with my sister, for example, our birthdays they're very close together. So when I turned 48 this year, I knew that she would have been 38 and she never got to see it. And there's just things like that, things in life, experiences, things that I have that I've got to experience that she never did and never will. And that hurts, it hurts really bad. In the case with my mother, which I haven't really talked about super openly on our podcast. I've been grieving my mother my whole entire life, like truly. as soon as I was able to identify this is not how moms are, the grief began, and it never eased up. I knew that this wasn't how mothers behave, that this wasn't how mothers treated their children. Loved her immensely, but I started to process that inevitability very, very early on. And yeah, it was just grief. Why can't she be a mom who just bakes cookies? Why can't she be a mom who shows up at, the PTA or goes to the parent teacher conferences, or just, why can't she just be normal? Right. And so there's grief in that. And it's been really hard, really, really hard. And then to watch my siblings follow on the same path, and very difficult, very, very difficult. And, I just, anybody out there listening, if you haven't experienced having someone that you love immensely having addiction, issues with addiction, I just want to say, like, anyone in your life who is dealing with that, they require a lot of compassion and a lot of patience. I think so many times I have been grossly misunderstood, because the amount of pain that you live with when you have this much addiction, I'm getting emotional shit, in your life, it fucking sucks. It really, really sucks to live every day with this much pain and this much trauma. Is, because if you're the sober one in the situation, you are experiencing immense trauma in this. Like, you are a victim of the addiction, just as much as they are. And it's a terrible place to be. And at where we're at in this world, I would be absolutely stunned if someone could come to me and say, no, I've never known anybody who's an addict. I've never known anybody who loves an addict. Like, that just doesn't seem possible. We have a plague within our society right now. And we really need to do something about it, because addiction, like, this came up over Christmas. I can't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking about addiction. It was just the other day, me and my husband were out socializing with some people, and it came up, and I said, addiction it's not this terrible, disgusting, ugly thing. And unfortunately, within our society, that is how it's looked at. Like, oftentimes, and we've seen this out in public. Yeah. You see people seeing someone who's clearly an addict on the street, panhandling or what have you. And you see the looks, you see the disgust on people's faces as they walk by them.
You see the comments online when something that happens. Like, if there's something that happens, or there's something put up in some kind of community group, like, I've seen the comments. It's disgusting.
Oh, it's disgusting. Filthy, dirty addicts.
We should just kill them all, or like rid them, like get them out of here. Like, just crazy
comments.
Absolutely terrible.
The fact is that these people are very, very unwell.
Well,
they're hurt. They're hurt and they're unwell, and they need help.
100%. And the fact is, that's just one aspect of addiction. You know what I mean? Like, seeing, like, I'm going to say, for lack, the worst of the worst, the ones who are out on the street. Like, addiction is so...
Oh, it's everywhere.
And honestly, it's like, at least you can see it with the ones who are out on, at least you can see that and acknowledge it. Whereas there's so many addictions that are so hidden that to me, that's even more scary.
It's extremely scary. And there's so many addictions that, well, first of all, we have our main addiction, which is the most socially acceptable addiction running around, which is alcohol.
I don't know. Cell phones tie in that right now?
Oh, like, yeah. Cell phone technology.
But yes, I know what you mean.
But no, but alcohol, I mean, we promote it.
100%.
We do the technology too, of course. And then we have sex addiction. Oh, that's being pushed down everyone's throat.
Well, and I don't think anyone, I shouldn't say anyone, it seems extreme. There's not even really in my experience acknowledgement of cannabis addiction.
No.
Which is honestly, it's like, and I think it's like, sure, someone's addicted to cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, in once again, I'll speak my own experience in knowing someone addicted to cannabis. They're not violent.
No.
They're not.
No.
You know, stealing from me to go, but they're prioritizing spending money on cannabis as opposed to their bills and getting ahead and all of these other things, and taking care of their family.
Cannabis.
They're gone.
They're using cannabis to not deal
with the
pain that they don't want to process.
Yeah.
Right. It's no different. And, that being said, I mean, like, cannabis, I don't see it as one of the super dangerous drugs or any of that. Because yes, you're right, they're not violent.
But I think there are some people what is dangerous about addictions that don't look dangerous is the fact that they're often not acknowledged as addiction.
Yeah, well, I mean, sex addiction is a perfect example. Yeah. And any addiction can get out of hand. And any addiction can lead you down a road of complete and total, like, destruction.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm adjusting in this camping chair.
I should get a couch-sized one.
When you do your addition, it's going to be so cozy.
Oh my God.
Well, it's going to be funny because Jamie's doing an addition on her house.
It's going to start next year.
Okay.
Whether it gets completed or not, I don't care. Yeah. It's starting.
We're getting it going. And then, we're building a brand new house. Yeah. So we'll be able to record over here if we want to. But then I also will have an actual recording.
But we could record in the recording studio. Yeah. Or the grow room.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Surrounded by all the plants.
All the plants. That would be super fun.
Your studio, we could just mix it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today we're in the stewed.
Yeah.
Today we're in the tiny house.
We'll hop around. Yeah.
The tiny house studio. We'll sound really fancy. We'll have all these different studios.
Yeah.
We're on location today out in the field.
Yeah, I should clarify. I'm not putting in a recording room because of the podcast. One of the children.
Sure we are.
One of the kids is a musician. One of them does voice acting. So yeah, in our family we need
and then we do.
We need, I say in quotes, the space was there to put one in.
Yeah,
so we're not that fancy. We're just the space was there. So why would we not?
Yeah,
yeah.
That was a fast turn.
That was a fast turn.
Just like, what? Enough.
Well, I needed a little quick breather.
All good.
Honestly.
All good.
Yeah. So addiction really sucks, and we should all love each other. That's what I have to say. We really do, though, need to have more compassion and more understanding in our society about what this is that we're dealing with. And we need to stop turning our head the other way and acting like it's disgusting. Yeah. And because it could happen to you, it could be your kid. That is someone's child. Nobody makes that choice. Nobody, when they're a little kid, when you ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? They don't say, oh, I want to be a junkie. Mm-hmm. No, nobody says that. Nobody says, I want to be homeless. Mm-hmm. And speaking from a standpoint of, someone who I have had multiple family members homeless on the streets, so addicted to things that's all that matters. And it's just getting that next high, that next fix. And, it is not a choice that they are consciously making. I have seen time and time again them go through rehab, do the work. But unfortunately, nobody really seems to deal with the core of the problem, which is, generally speaking, in my experience, it's stemming from some sort of severe complex trauma, childhood trauma.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
and then God only knows what other traumas on top of
honestly,
that.
listen or read to any of Dr. Gabor Mate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would say like he's one of the best people to listen to or read about addiction, to really kind of, because that's what he taught. Like he talks about that so much, about the link between trauma, pain, and addiction. Like, because that's what it is.
That is what it is.
And so I like, honestly, I would highly recommend anyone listen to his stuff, read his stuff, to get a better understanding. And because like, even for myself, and like reading some of his stuff, and not that I wasn't someone who wasn't compassionate towards addiction, but even in me reading his stuff, I found even myself even feeling even more compassion, and just like understand compassion for myself, and just in general for, you know, what addiction is and does, and how terrible it is. And that is a really good
resource. Because when you experience terrible, terrible things as a child, you do want to escape them. You want to make it go away. It plagues you. It makes, you know, for myself, I made a commitment to myself that I absolutely would not use drugs. That I wouldn't fall into addiction, that I wouldn't drink. And I mean, and you see me, I'm very cautious with everything. But the pain, I mean, how this trauma can affect you. I mean, you can't sleep. You can't fall asleep. I was just thinking about this today. We were watching a movie that I've watched. I have probably played this movie thousands of times, I would say. And the reason why is because the movie would lull me to sleep, because falling asleep was so completely not in the cards, because of what was going on in my mind as I suffered all those years, decades, from early childhood all the way up into my late 30s, not being able to fall asleep without having something to lull me to sleep. And even then, insomnia, waking up because of the nightmares, because of the memories coming back, sneak in, strange, dark dreams because of the trauma that's being held in the brain. I mean, when you experience, like, you know, I'm hopeful that many people who listen to us have not experienced such traumatic childhoods, but when you have experienced these super traumatic events, they really shape you. And, you know, it's severe, it's serious.
Yeah. Well, and I think like when you live in a survival mode state too, your brain is in that survival mode state. Like, I mean, obviously, like, my childhood was very, very different, but I remember also being a kid and like being in that anxiety survival mode state. I couldn't sleep.
No.
Like, because your brain is just going. There's no, you don't have an on-off switch for survival mode.
No. And
you're in that like flight or whatever.
And for my own experience, like self-regulation, I mean, what is that? There was nothing regulated in my day-to-day. There was nothing. I never knew exactly. Every day, I remember coming home from school and the deep breaths and the anxiety that would build, like, what am I going to walk into? Are we going to have to move today? Like, it was not uncommon for me to walk in. It happened definitely. It would happen enough times that there was like anxiety over it. Like, am I going to walk in today and I'm going to be told, start packing, we're leaving? Like, just, there was no consistency. There was no, and so, how can you regulate? And we're dealing with so much of this in our society. And so many people don't have the love and support that I've been so blessed with my husband, to stand by my side through all of this until I would get well. And then the love and support that I got within a community. And, you know, truly it was plant medicine that helped me, that I can actually fall asleep now, you know, and I can actually rest, and I actually feel comfortable in my body, and I can talk about it more openly without dismissing it and being like, well, you know, worse things happen to people. It wasn't that bad, and tell it in such like a a matter of fact way, completely disconnected from it. Looking back, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, we go back to the conversation of grief. I have no idea how many years this will continue, that I will cry and allow the tears to flow that I couldn't as a child, because I had to do what I had to do, and I was in survival mode because I had to be tough and I had to be strong, and I have no clue.
You know, and even you saying that, I'm thinking about that, and it's like, does it matter?
No,
like, is it
doesn't
it's
matter.
Like, as much as like, and I don't mean that in a like negative way, I just mean like, you know, we do think of these things, right, sometimes, of just like, oh, I know I've done it with, it's like, oh my gosh, how long am I going to cry about this? And maybe your whole life.
I might. Yeah. No, the more that the older I get, the more I start to realize, because
and while that is sad and there is a discomfort in that, it's like, it's also just human. And it's like, what, like, I think I had a different thought, but it kind of left, but it's like, there's way more discomfort in trying to not do that than just, you know, maybe down the line you'll find more beauty in it somehow. You know what I mean? Of just like, not beauty in like what happened, but in your own,
but in the
humanity,
grief,
your own
in the processing, the compassion for self,
exactly,
the grace for self,
right? 100%. Instead of like, because I think we do often, like I said, I've done it to my own self. We shame our own selves for continuing to cry, but it's like, that is an example of who you are as a person.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And like, and your love and your care and like all of that.
Well, and then talking about the milestones and our own personal development as we grow, right? Well, I mean, I have grieved this from the perspective of the young mother who desperately wanted my own mother to be there, to help me, to advise me, to do what moms do, you know, to help, to come hold the baby, to whatever. Then I had to grieve it as the mother, watching my children and going, how can a mother do that to, you know,
that's the thing,
as a
right?
grandmother.
It's like there's always going to be you're always going to be having new experiences in which you've been robbed of a experience that could have gone along with that. And so of course you're always gonna like be thinking of those, like, there's always going to be new stuff coming up, basically, that could have been different.
It's actually shocking how many things come up when you have been raised in the counterculture of society. And you go through this, I know you go through the same thing I do. It's just we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, right? But the amount of things that come up where I'm just like, no, I don't know it. I don't know how to do that. Or I don't know anything about that. Like, you know, I say it about you quite often because I notice, you know, like I notice the stuff that you often are, we'll say, have never connected into because of your upbringing. But I do it too. It's just, they're very different, right? It's like, there's experiences you had that were wholesome as a child that I'm just like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's like. Right. So bottom line, we all need to offer each other way more grace in the grieving. You're all grieving. I was going to wrap that up with
bottom line is, it's just fucked.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
Certainly addiction is, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, how long have we been recording?
We're over an hour now.
Are we over an hour?
Yeah.
So I think, like, in wanting to wrap it up.
Let's wrap this up in a nice little bow.
Yeah. In wanting to wrap this up, this is what I'm going to say. I will share, you know, as I just alluded, my mother has been an addict pretty much my entire life. I watched it get worse and worse. There's mental illness involved in this, as there usually often is. And it was really challenging. And it was challenging to grow up that way. It was very traumatizing. You know, it is very difficult to have parents who are addicts. It is extremely difficult. for the children. Everything that we think as a normal household, you know, dinners together and bedtimes and books being read and family games, and you know, while there may have been some of that here and there, it was just not a happy picture. And then yes, I also my sister passed away. Gosh, it's been a year and a half, and she had just come out of rehab. Or no, I'm sorry. No, she had just come out of jail and had gone into a halfway house, and that very next day she died. And my brother, he is also an addict, and we don't even know if he's alive right now. We don't know where he is. I haven't heard from him in the longest amount of time ever. So these things, you know, if anybody wants to write in and talk about their, you know, we talked about being more interactive. If anybody wants to talk about this, wants to release some of that, whether it's having experiences with addiction or experiences in grief, maybe this is a good starting point for us, because
or divorce,
which falls under grief and loss. Yeah, because for both of Jamie and I, addiction has unfortunately really shaped us, coming in from parental, and then, you know, me with my siblings, and you've had your own personal experiences, spouse, and I've had, no, we both have the spouses, and it's really, it's been a challenge, and will continue to be. This is not something that goes away, and the pain doesn't go away. So if anybody would like to talk about that cheery, happy subject, or just your own frustrations and what you're seeing in society and how we're dealing with it, I mean, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
because I don't think we talk about it enough.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna,
and on the podcast, I'm sure it's gonna come up often, because it just is. And I have kept quiet for a long time about like being super public about what I've gone through. And so have you.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're coming back into this podcast this time being quiet.
No.
We're mad as hell and we're not taking it anymore. No.
Hey, what was it? I like to call it a holy rage. I wrote a piece a while back
on a holy rage,
and I call it on holy rage.
Yeah.
Not that you got to be, no, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. That doesn't play in grief much, but
no,
but
I would
in
say
moving forward, does it? Okay.
Well, anger is one.
One
of the stages of grief.
Oh, yeah. And I guess I was talking more so in moving forward and talking about different things going on in the world. I think there needs to be a lot more of a holy rage.
Oh yes, and boy, do we have shit to talk about, because there's some crazy shit going on down south that is really appalling.
There's crazy shit going on down the road.
I'm
just kidding.
Well,
there's not.
I mean, nothing.
I don't think so.
Specifically down.
I'm just
down
kidding.
That road.
I'm kidding. Oh my god.
We live in a pretty chill. Generally.
Let me have my jokes. Oh my god.
Wow, that ended up being a really serious episode.
I know. I didn't know where it was going to go.
Yeah, so this is the new thing. Hopefully, I won't get into this depressing stuff too often.
Hey, we said we're going to keep it real. Clearly, we both needed to talk about grief.
Yeah.
So
on that note,
send in your compliments, your shout outs to your friends, to your peeps,
to
your girls, your guys,
whoever,
your grandmas, grandpas,
brothers, anyone that you want to just really prop up, and then
your bestie, your not so bestie,
you're not so
frenemy.
That you want people to send in for this,
a compliment.
Okay, but
imagine
it has to be.
Well, we're not going to say it on air if it's not nice.
Yeah. No, we need nice.
I'm not going to be saying not niceness, but can you?
Well, I guess, yeah, frenemies. If I really was getting serious, I have people that I'm no longer friends with that we have, you know,
you could still give them a shout out. That's called healing
in each other's lives. Yeah. And yet I do have things where I'm like,
just really for the record, we're not going to really, call out names. If you want to drop a first name, we can probably do that. I'm assuming that's fine. Like if somebody's like,
confidentiality,
I want to shout out to Amber. We're not going to know who Amber is because we're not going to be like so and so's giving a shout out to Amber.
So it's really going to be.
It could be just a name.
Yeah, like we'll just use your first name and their first name, and then. And I mean, I hope somebody actually does this. Well,
y'all better. Because I know we got people listening to every episode.
Yeah, or so they say.
And there's comments and I get messages. Or we get stopped in public and they're like, I listen to your podcast. All right.
It happens quite often. Happens quite often to me.
It does.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy because I don't even go out really.
Me neither. So like, how does that happen?
I know, right?
So if you're one of those people, and I know you are because you're here listening, send in a freaking compliment to someone you love.
Gush, like I did about Jamie.
Or, gush about us if you really feel like you need to. Gush about how much you love this podcast. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Oh my God. Gush about your freaking cat. I will.
Oh, we'll eat that up.
20 minutes of that dialogue could go on. I don't care.
For sure. I could talk about my cats all day.
Yeah, we could do a cat episode. Yeah. So like, sky's the limit here, guys.
But seriously, and then we'll put it on the next episode, and then you just share the next episode with your friend or your grandma,
be like,
or
listen,
your mom, or your uncle, or whoever it is,
or your cat
who really inspires you in life. And
100%. Do it.
All right, so that, and on that note, when we put this up, we'll put up a post to continue the conversation. And if you would like to engage or talk about addiction and grief, or like we said, any of those things, we'll be there
where to find us.
Keep the conversation going. Let's keep conversations going. So
yeah, sounds good.
You can also give us subjects to talk about.
Yeah,
because that would be a hoot
for sure. Yes.
Anyways, we love you guys, and thanks for tuning back in with us after
because we know you are
long break, and we look forward to 2026 with y'all. This has been Unraveling with July.
The J's.
The J
bubble. Oh my God. Okay, really quick before we wrap up. You know how some podcasts, like when they're really big and popular, the one I listened to, Glennon Doyle's podcast. Okay. They call their listeners the Pod Squad. Oh my God. Our listeners could be in the J bubble. That's fun. Let us know what you think about that.
Come join the bubble with us. Love you guys.
Bye.